Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mac Story.
Before we get started with today's episode, I want to take a few moments and give you a preview of what you're about to hear and also direct you to some other series that I already have completed on my podcast. So you're about to listen to Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams. You're listening to a 30-part series on that. Today's episode is just one of 30. It's specific to lean leaders, lean managers, anyone who's leading teams of people through process improvement and continuous improvement projects, Six Sigma, those kind of things. It's not about the tools and the methods and all that. It's about how to lead teams of people. So any leader, anybody at any level can get value from this. But I just want you to know that's what this series is about. It's about that specific book. So hope you enjoy it. But I have some other series that may interest you if this series does not. Got a lot of episodes already out there, but I have a book called Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Front Lines. It's all about how to become a high impact individual, how to become a sought after employee of choice, an employee that people want to hire and want to promote. That series, there's a 30-part series, starts at episode 65. I have another series on my book, Blue Collar Leadership and Supervision, Unleash Your Team's Potential. That book is for leaders, formal authority leaders who want to learn how to effectively lead people. That series, 30-part series, starts at episode 111. I have another series. It's an 11-part series on my book, 10 Foundational Elements of Intentional Transformation, How to Become Your Best Self. That series starts at episode 158. I have another series on my Blue Collar Leadership and Culture, the 5 components for building high-performance teams. That book is really for the top leader, and it's how do you become the sought-after employer of choice. It's a 30-part series. It begins at episode 179. My wife Rhea and I, this year in 2021, the theme for my podcast this year was all about change. That's why I'm doing this series on Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams, because it's all about leading teams through change. But we have a 15-part series we recorded together on our book, Change Happens, Leading Yourself and Others Through Change. That series starts at episode 211. And then this Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams series, the one you're about to listen to, one of the episodes of, it started at episode 230. And will be a 30-part series, so it's going to take a little while to finish it. Hope you find value in some of these series. Let's get to today's podcast. All right, folks, we made it up to part 27 of 30. Today's the chapter we're focused on is titled Expand the Team. And the subtitle is Harness the Influence of the Team to Gain Support for the Team. So I want to tell you a quick story to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So as a lean leader or a leader of a team, making things happen is not always about you. Again, I've talked about it a lot. It starts with you, but it's not about you. It's about the team. It's about helping the team get results. So I just want to share a story from way back. This was probably in 2006 or 7. And I was working inside a manufacturing facility as an employee. I was the lean manager, and the quality manager had resigned, and I had been given that responsibility as well. So there used to be a lean manager, which was me, and a quality manager, which was another guy. And he resigned, and the plant manager that I reported to, he asked me to take on the duties and responsibilities of the quality manager as well. So as I took on that responsibility, one thing that came with that responsibility was the quality team. And the quality team, quality supervisor and the quality technicians, all these folks started reporting to me. And up until that point, I had been responsible for leading our lean efforts. And I remember I had one of those things I needed to get done was the quality lab in our plant was like a wood grain, had a wood grain siding inside and out of this building that was located in our plant. Inside, I had a coordinate measuring machine, for precision measuring of parts and components. And part of our project was, our lean initiative was getting all these buildings painted bright white and having the floor treated with a high gloss gray finish. And that building hadn't been done yet. The previous quality manager, all he ever told me, they were too busy. Quality was too important. They didn't have time to do it. And he provided the evidence to support the belief. It never got done. So now, the first thing I did when I became responsible for quality was I brought the lean team and quality team together and said, hey, we're on one team now. Quality is important. We're going to shift a lot of focus to improving our quality, which is a component of lean anyway, but it became the priority now because we did have some quality issues. One of the first things that happened was one of the quality technicians brought me out, called me out to the lab, and I walked into the lab and she was explaining that she needed a large flat screen TV, that it would be lean. It would make her job easier. And then when people come in to watch her measure parts, they could actually see it on the big screen instead of just a small laptop screen. And I liked the idea. I thought it was a great idea. And she said, we've been asking for this, but we couldn't get it from the other manager, the one who had left. I said, okay. And you got to remember the title of this chapter, Expand the Team. Harness the influence of the team to gain support for the team. That's why I'm telling you this story. So she also knew I had wanted that building to be painted white as a lean manager and the floor to be painted high gloss gray. And so what was cool was when she said she wanted that TV, I said, I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. Whenever these walls are white inside and out and this floor is high gloss gray, I'll let you come into my office. I'll pull up the system and you can order whichever TV you want to put on that wall. I said, how about that? Is that a deal? I said, can you agree to that? She said, yeah, I agree to that. And that was the end of it. And I carried on. I was busy. She was busy. We got going with our work. And she was on the first shift, same as I was, working days. So we did what we had to do that day. I figured some point in time they would paint it white and the floor would be gray, and then they'd get their TV and they'd be happy and I'd be happy. And we'd be a step farther down our lean path. What happened though was pretty cool. The very next morning, as soon as I got to work, she came in and was all excited. She come to my office. She said, hey, Matt, can you come out to the quality lab? I was like, okay, I'll be right out there. So I go out there. I had no idea what she wanted to show me, but I knew she was excited about it. And this was the very next day that we had made our deal. Hadn't even been 24 hours yet. I walk out there. As soon as I turn the corner, the quality lab is white on the outside and on the inside. And the floor is painted high gloss gray. I said, how did you guys do that? It wasn't like this yesterday when we left. At the end of the day, nothing had happened during the day. I said, how did this happen? I said, how did y'all do this? She said, we didn't do it. She was smiling and happy. She's like, we didn't do it. I said, well, who did it? She said, well, I got a lot of influence with the maintenance shift on the night shift. So I asked them if they could do it for us. And I used my influence and I got them to do it. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. The previous quality manager, all these people reported to him. He said he couldn't make it happen. He's too busy. 6 months I'd been trying to get that building to be painted by that quality manager. 6 months, he couldn't do it. The day that I become quality manager, all I did was lead the team. I expanded the team that I had. I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't tell her what to go do. I just made a deal with her. She expanded our team through her leadership. through her influence, she was able to go make it happen. I didn't even have to worry about it. It was done. She was happy. Everybody was happy. She came right in. I let her order her flat screen TV, and then she got maintenance guys to mount that up on the wall as soon as it came in. I mean, it was up and done. She had a lot of influence in the plant. And that's what I'm talking about in this chapter. As a lean leader, as any kind of leader of teams, if you grow and develop relationships with your teams, they're going to want to perform. See, the previous quality manager was all about managing people, telling them what to do. And he had so much that he needed to tell them what to do. He couldn't tell them to paint the walls white and to paint the floor gray. He had too many other things he needed to tell them to do besides that. But I still had the same responsibilities as he did, but I approached it in an entirely different way. I was trying to motivate and influence the people, not tell them what to do. I didn't tell them they had to paint the wall or the floors. I just made a deal with them. Said, hey, if you want this, we can do that. And it'll happen. Or you can do that and it'll happen. And they made it happen. I mean, less than 24 hours. So again, there's a lot of influence on every Kaizen team. We were not even doing a Kaizen event. This was just, normal daily operations. But if you're doing true continuous Kaizen, you're doing small change for the better, constantly and continuously. You don't need a Kaizen event. You just need people who want to make stuff happen, and leaders who want to support people, remove obstacles, and that sort of thing. So as a high impact lean leader, it's your responsibility to leverage the team's influence. See, I could have been just wanting to build a relationship and say, okay, yeah, I'll get you the TV, and not even mention the walls or the painting that need to be done. But I had never read leadership books at that time, but now I know what I did was actually habit 4 from the 7 habits. I created a win-win deal. She won, the quality team won. Everybody wins because that TV did help everybody. And we all won. I won by getting the walls painted. That was one of my initiatives, among many others. And also the organization won. My boss, the plant manager, won. He had an improvement in the quality lab that's going to help them perform better. And he had an improvement in the lean department because that building was painted nice, squared away, clean, and looked much more professional instead of dark, dirty, and dingy. Everybody won. I didn't know this principle, but I applied it back then. Win-win. Win-win or no deal, actually, is what it was. We're both going to win or there's going to be no deal. But we both won. It was pretty easy. And that was a cool story. I share that from the stage quite often when I'm speaking around the country, because no one reported to that quality technician. She was a frontline entry-level team member, but she made it happen. She made it happen. The previous quality manager never made it happen, and he was the boss. That's why I tell you, positional level influence, artificial influence, it'll only take you so far. Moral authority based on character, based on who you are, it'll take you a long way. And there's a lot of lessons in that story. But the main one I was talking about there was harnessing the influence of the team. So by leveraging the cumulative influence of the team, you're able to generate additional support and buy-in for the team's mission, far beyond your own circle of influence. But you have to intentionally do it. You have to know that's why I'm going to grow and develop people. That's why I'm going to build relationships, because all these people have influence and know people and have different relationships with other people that I don't have. That's why this is called leadership, not management. You can't manage all these relationships, but you can lead and you can influence. So adding a leadership development component to your lean initiative and all of the Kaizen events you lead is crucial relative to expanding each team's influence beyond the team. You see, when you start implementing personal growth and leadership development in your Kaizen events, or even beyond your Kaizen events, maybe just as a lean leader, you've taken on the role of leadership like I've recommended you to do. Maybe you're doing that. So now You're not only the lean leader, but you're the leadership leader. So everyone sees you pouring value into them. You're building relationships all over the place. You're also growing and developing people who are building great, strong relationships all over the place where they want to work together and they want to support each other. So you're building this massive team. Like in my case, in the plan I was talking about a moment ago in that story, we had about 200 plus employees, 210s, 190 to 210, somewhere around in there. And I was trying to build a massive team. Some people hated me, but I didn't worry about those people. But the thing is, some people who hated me liked other people who actually liked me. So the people who liked me had influence with some of the people who hated me. Most of the people didn't hate me. Most of the people liked me. We went from minus 3% gross profit margin to plus 35% gross profit margin. We knocked it out of the park. We did that in just 3 years. And it is pretty powerful. And a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you, I learned a lot of it during that time. So first, choose to invest time teaching the team principles that will help them have a better life, not only at work, but also at home. Instead of just jumping right into the lean training or going out to the Gemba where the work happens and just start getting busy. You're going to be going slow to go fast if you do that. You're going to be going fast to go slow. What you want to do is go slow to go fast. But when you come in, you just start teaching process improvement, continuous improvement, lean, Six Sigma, whatever type skills you're teaching. And you don't value doing the personal growth and development of team members or yourself. I'm telling you, you're going to leave a lot on the table. If you're trying to grow your career, well, the best way to grow your career is to get great results. You get great results, you're going to launch your career. And in the process, you're probably going to launch some other people's career because you're going to be giving them credit. You're going to get the credit. Don't worry about it. Give it away. That's what's cool about credit. You can give credit to others and still have credit. You don't lose any yourself by giving it to someone else because someone else is giving it to you. You're probably getting too much credit already just by being the leader. So give credit to others. But the team will pay you back through support during and after the event. They'll gladly loan you their influence when you need it. And again, I'm talking about when you pour into people, developing them personally and professionally, they want to help you. And the way they help you is they leverage their influence. And when they're leveraging it, they loan their influence to you as a leader. So once you've invested in growing the team, they know your heart and know your mission is to help the people, they will step up and offer help whenever you ask this question. Who knows somebody who can help us make it happen? I asked that question so many times when I was leading lean events because a lot of times I didn't know anybody outside of the team that I was leading. A lot of times I had just walked in on Monday, met these people. I didn't know anybody else in the organization. But I knew how to ask that question after I built trust and relationships with the people. And that's why in this book, I talk about priming the pump. Spend 4 hours on Monday, personal growth and development, telling stories, getting to know the people, letting them get to know me so that they want to help me because I'm trying to help them. So after I built that trust, and I had to learn to do it quickly, I only had 5 days with people who didn't know me. I couldn't wait till Friday to get some help. I need some help on Monday and Tuesday. And also Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But once I built trust, they got to know who I was. And we started moving through the process. It was one of my greatest questions that I'd always ask. When I say greatest, I mean most important. Who knows somebody who can help us make it happen? And a lot of times it was maintenance people that we needed. And pretty much in most organizations, maintenance people are usually slammed. They're usually slammed, overburdened. They got an endless number of tasks to do. Usually they need some more people. That's what they think. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's not true. They just need to be more efficient. But a lot of times they do need more people. They are overloaded. And when we're doing process improvements, most often we need maintenance people. A lot of times, I always wanted one of them on my team. That was always the goal. And most often I had one of them on my team, but sometimes I didn't. But sometimes to get a maintenance person on my team for a week, busy as they were, I had to harness the influence of the team. What I mean is, after I've been to an organization repeated times and I really do get to know people, then I can start leveraging my relationships. And I may have asked for a maintenance person to be on a team that's coming up, say a month or 2 months from now. I asked for someone and I get rejected. We just ain't got time. We'll help you whatever you need, but we ain't got time to put someone on there for a week. Then I start leveraging my relationships and telling the people that I have good relationships with what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, why it's important. And then I ask them for their help. How can you help me get someone from maintenance on here? A lot of times they'll say, man, that ain't no problem. I'll go talk to so-and-so and he's going to talk to so-and-so and he'll tell somebody he'll tell the maintenance manager to put somebody on the team. All kind of different directions it could go in. But the main thing that happened was most often I had a maintenance person on the team. And then when the maintenance person gets on the team and I get to build a relationship with them and I get to pour into them and I get to teach them personal growth and leadership development principles and I get to tell them stories, well, now I got somebody on the inside. And that's what happened a lot of times. When I say on the inside, I mean someone on the maintenance team in the maintenance department who's on my team, meaning they support me and my mission and what I'm trying to do. I remember one company, I supported them for years, man, and their maintenance team, we call them the tip of the spear. They were so gung-ho to help us. And when I say us, I mean everybody in the plant, multiple plants. Those maintenance teams were they literally, we called them the tip of the spear. They wanted to be on lean events. They wanted to participate. They saw what we were doing. They knew it was making it better. They knew that they mattered. They knew they knew they mattered to me and felt highly valued by me and the teams and the leaders that I was growing and building relationships with. So it was pretty easy to get them. They were busy, but I'm telling you, those maintenance folks made a lot of stuff happen. They were amazing. It was a privilege to know them and to build relationships with them and hear their stories. And the majority of them, they were gung-ho. They were gung-ho and they were bought in. What I was doing was harnessing the influence of my teams. And then they would tell somebody else, hey, man, you get on there this time. I was on that event the last time they did it. You get on there this time. You need to go through it. So then I just keep expanding my team beyond the Kaizen team to start encompassing the entire facility. As many people as I could get relationships with. That's what this entire book is about. You as a team leader, especially a process improvement, lean manufacturing leader, this whole book and all my other books are resources to help you build a massive team, even if they don't report to you. None of those maintenance people ever reported to me. No one on any of these Kaizen teams ever reported to me. I didn't have any artificial influence through a title. All I had was the authentic influence that I could build and develop as a person. So I want to leave you today with a quote from Liz Wiseman. She says, sometimes the more you know, the less you learn. Too often we play solo when we should be gathering the support of a broader team. Too often we drown out new voices with cynicism, blunt criticism, and explanations for why their ideas won't fly. That's some powerful stuff from Liz Wiseman. And I want to challenge you today, if you are a lean leader or you're ever going to be a lean leader or you have a passion to lead a team, don't be the cynic. Don't be the critic. Don't shoot down everyone's ideas. Lead the people. Lead them where they want to go. Yes, you can cast the vision, but teach them the principles and lead. Well, it's called leadership. It ain't dictatorship. It ain't tellership. telling everybody what to do. That's management of people. Leadership, lead people. If they don't want to go where you want them to go, you need more development yourself, and you also need to develop them more. Because if you're trying to lead somebody, they don't want to go. They ain't got to go. They go out the door and find a new job. That's what can happen if you start telling them to do too many things they don't want to do. So think about today's lesson. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.